So you have to thank an uncle you don't like very much, or you're calling off the wedding but you're staying in touch, or your sister's dating someone who's suspiciously gay, or you killed your neighbor's cat and you don't know what to say. Just send your situation in a letter to me, 'cause you've got a greeting card emergency. Hello, welcome to Greeting Card Emergency. I'm your host, David Ellis Dickerson, author of the book House of Cards. Coming out day is coming up on October 11th, but it was just going to be a one-card show. And then, as it happened, I was on Talk of the Nation a couple days ago, and a guy called in and said, I need a card to come out to my parents. And I realized we need a lot more cards than just one. American Greetings has nothing. Hallmark has one kind of vague card that says, like, it's nice to be true to yourself, under the heading Journeys. You know, the word gay is never mentioned. It might as well be called euphemisms. So I thought, doggone it, we need 4 cards, and that's what we're going to do today, and let's get to it. We'll start with a straightforward coming out card. I gave this to a friend of mine at Hallmark when he came out back in 1996 or so. As you can see, it just shows a drawing of a closet. And on the inside it says, I hear you've moved. Congratulations and enjoy the sunlight. This card is actually available online at pigspigot.com. It's a greeting card wiki. Look it up there under coming out day cards and you'll find it, and you can send it if you like. Next I want to do a card for someone who is coming out to their parents. This is to answer the guy who called in on Talk of the Nation. What I was going to ask him actually at the time, how gay are you? Because there are 2 kinds of coming out cards, it seems to me. The first is for the person who really does need to come out, whose sexuality is a complete mystery to their parents. And the second is the kind of guy, you know, like the kid on Glee, where you can't imagine anyone doesn't really know, but it just requires a formal statement. Let's start with that one. As you can see, it's just a family sitting around reading, and there is a large colored elephant in the room. And the inside says, the elephant in the room is pink. I'm gay, so we can all stop pretending now. I realize pink is kind of a cliche, but the other option was the gay flag. And I'm not really fond of the gay flag. I have to say, I am a straight guy with no style who is colorblind, and it looks like I designed that flag. You might want to go with gay flag 2.0 and have someone behind it who is not a hippie. Just a suggestion, I'm just throwing it out there. On the other hand, if you're straight seeming, you know, like Portia de Rossi or John Kyle or Ted Haggard, you might be able to get away with this card. And it says, there are 2 things you need to know. 1, I'm gay. 2, I'm not this gay. And I got a guy who's like in full Priscilla, Queen of the Desert mode, and it says, I'm ready to talk anytime, love you. Note that in sending this, I don't actually intend to stab drag queens in the back. Drag queens were the warriors, the front line of the gay rights movement. They took all the hits. I've got nothing but respect for what they did. But I've got to say, if your parents need to be eased in, you might want to start them on a low volume. Finally, there's a card that is much needed that I have not found anywhere, and it's a thank you for coming out card. And I hope I can get through this without crying. This is why this day is so important to me. 15 years ago, in a single month, 3 of my best friends came out of the closet. And so I have this card that says, your courage has made me a better straight person, and your example has made the world a better place. Thank you for coming out. This card is going out to those 3 friends, Trip Payne, Brent Burmeister, Ryan Wyatt, with a special side shout out to Rob Hartman. You guys saved my life. Because the way I was raised, it was so ugly. I was trying to follow Jesus. I told people I was following Jesus, and I became cramped, ugly, and territorial. And it was on a backdrop of so much fear of doing the wrong thing, of loving the wrong person, of being too generous. And it was such an ugly way to live, and I could not save myself. But because of your courage, I decided I don't know what's right, but I know I can love my friends. And that example gave me the courage to step away from a faith that was going to kill my soul. And I cannot thank you enough. So guys, I love you. Thank you so much. And if you are watching this and want to help other people feel the same way, why don't you get this thing to every single family in Utah? In the meantime, I hope this has made your day slightly more pleasant. Thank you. Send your emergencies to greetingcardemergency@gmail.com. Thank you.